The life raft that helped save me is now sinking. With much thinking, I abandoned ship and feel abandonment by both captains and captors, strangers and pastors, no longer who I thought they were. But then again, maybe neither am I. Regardless, I'm swept away by the eternal current of God's grace that sustains me as I seek to honor the vehicle that carried me to this place. I begin to ask, where am I? Or better yet, who, because produced and preserved within me is a reflection of a man that looks more like he whose spirit dwells deep and comes to the surface more daily. Yet appropriate and earn is also the message I've heard, as the commodity I produce must always be improved, even if my character wasn't that which was of concern. Or in more simple terms, the message of grace that saved when shared on a stage led me back to the need to succeed. But at least I was succeeding in the church. Breath. Success. I found both at the start, but began to crave one more than the other. Life given and received with ease at your pace seemed to lead toward the unforced rhythms of grace you promised. But choked out by the need for growth, sitting on your throne, a different yoke was placed. Too subtle to tell the difference, I kept the pace until I realized with both direction and speed, you were not pleased. I counted the cost and wasn't willing to pay to build a kingdom where you weren't clearly on the throne. Now where do I go? I know there's no place like home, and suddenly I've never felt more alone. Nothing left to provide, prove, or earn. It's no longer about me. Now that they need nothing, I'm left with little except for unwelcomed reassurance that this was the better portion. I seek belonging as I become. I'm longing for understanding of how I must change, learning lessons not to repeat the same before I jump back in too quick. With much pain and humility, I finally admit maybe I was the one steering the ship. More fingers are pointing back at me than I could ever put forward. Slow to trust in most, including myself, I search for the one who has already been searching. Not all who wander are lost, but I promise this sure feels different, distant from all that's familiar. I begin to see him in a new light. And as you find me, we begin to build, no longer the church, but my life on your love, a firm foundation, anchored and stationed. You hold me as we drift. I now need your church more than ever. No longer for feelings of success, security, or the sinking feeling that this is all that I was made for, like the still water I now wade in. I just need the church to help me reflect you. Jesus, let your bride rise to the occasion as we fall back in love with you who are lovely.